Wayne State football falls to Grand Valley. Coach, just some opening thoughts on senior night.
Well, first of all, you want to send the seniors out, on a win, a victory. Parents, they've done a great job. Their 4 years here, pouring in their hard work and blood, sweat, and tears. So, you want to basically give them a return on their effort, right, and their investment. But it didn't happen that way. It started off pretty good. We faltered at the end. We just started making too many penalties, right?
Mm-hmm.
Just unforced errors. Something that I have to really look into. Why do we start off hot and all of a sudden we just self-implode? You drop a snap, drop a punch, snap punt, pick six, all those things, right? So, when we look at the totality of the game, Grand Valley played an incredible game,
mm-hmm.
right? They're a good football team, taking nothing away from them, but we gave them Christmas early in October.
How do you measure progress of the team without those wins kind of showing up?
Well, so that's a great question. In my young guys, in my young players,
Mm-hmm.
There's a great separation that's starting to happen, and what I mean by that is some of the young guys they're playing their tails off, and the moment isn't too big for them, and then there are some guys who older guys, some guys that you just see that can't make the play when that moment is there, when
right.
It's right there in development. And so you can ask also a question of, why don't I play those young guys more? Well, you want to have them around a long time. So, you get a chance to play them in 3 games, and you get a chance to see them play, and you got to be ready for next year.
And then some of those younger players, Wendell Smith had his 2nd career interception today. How has he stepped up just being a redshirt freshman for that defense?
He stepped up huge. I laugh because he always tells us that, Coach, I owe you one. And whenever he owes me, he gets me. I told him, I said, you got to give me some lottery numbers, man.
Mm-hmm.
So, but no, he's also a guy who works. And that's what I'm talking about, these young guys. They do it in practice. They practice at a high level. As Coach Solid all the time, they give them premium effort, right? And so when the game comes, they're not adjusting. They're not shaken by it. There's no moment too big. So when I get after them in practice, I push them in practice. Those are the young men who take it and understand it.
And then on offense, Justice Tuggle, 5 receptions, 62 yards. What do you like about his gameplay throughout the season?
Tussle's always been, call him All-State, right? How fitting. Whenever you need a great play, a first down, his hands are there. He has a great catching radius. Some of those balls wasn't always on him, but he's able to reach back and pluck it out the air. And on top of that, he's just, we call him the quiet assassin. He's very quiet, but he's a guy who works his tail off, and once again, it shows.
Mm-hmm. And then lastly, that 80-yard return for a touchdown. How does it feel to see Mickey Keller have that big play for the first time in his career?
Mickey's also another young guy who just works his tail off. Mickey is the type of young man that calls me, texts me 24 hours a day, and he's looking at film, he's taking notes, and he's a coach's dream. And so at the end of the game, I just wanted to see if he can get something going, and really, to be truthful, anybody in the world you're happy to see he could get that, that's me. So I'm happy to see that.
And then lastly, just how would you like to see this season end? You have 2 more road games. What would be a successful end of the season for you?
Well, of course, a successful end of the season will be 2 wins, right? It will be wins. I would love to see wins, but at the same time, when we're talking about building this thing and getting it going,
mm-hmm.
I know a lot of people say, well, 3 years, of not winning seasons, of not being 500, but you still have to grow. You still have to progress. And these young men are, they're young,
yeah.
and they're growing. So to answer that question, 2 wins will be great, but the maturation of these young men to continue to play, to see how they come back on practice on Tuesday,
mm-hmm.
to see how they practice throughout the week, which they have been doing great. But at the same time, now saying, I still have to do the small things before I get to the grand stage and make it happen.
That's all I have for you. Thank
Thank
you.
you.